welcome to our YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well. Let us solve certain PYQs related to English literature. So as the paper is just around the corner, let us quickly solve these things. Which of the following texts coins the slogan Vande Mataram? Is it Anand Math, Mrinalini, Durgesh Nandini or Kalpakundra? What is the right answer? The right answer is A, that is Anand Math. तो आनंद मठ जो टेक्स्ट है उसके अंदर यू हैव द स्लोगन वंदे मातरम. देन स्टेटमेंट 1 एंड स्टेटमेंट 2, according to Michel Foucault, the French Revolution created grounds for the birth of the clinic. Foucault mentions that the doctors started caring for the body of the patients the way priest cared for the soul of the sinners. So is the first statement true? Or is it wrong? Or what about the second statement? Both statement 1 and 2 are true. Both are false. Statement 1 is true, but second is false. And statement 1 is false, but second is true. So Michel Foucault, as you all know, he's such an important theorist. You need to study him in greater detail. He has written in depth about the clinic. He has written about madness, right? He talks about power, right? So इनका पेनोप्टिकॉन का जो the way in which he talks about panopticon, power, struggle, and he talks about madness, civilization. These are certain concepts that are very important. दो concept नहीं था panopticon इनका, वो जेरेमी बेंथम का concept था, ये भी याद रखना. But he popularized it, he used it. Basically here he is saying that Michel Foucault, he's saying that French Revolution created grounds for the birth of the clinic. And he observed that doctors after that started to care for the patient. लेकिन वो कैसे compare कर रहे हैं? They are caring for the patients in the same way priest care कर रहे थे soul की sinners के साथ. This means यहाँ पे power dynamics बहुत ज़्यादा play हो रहा था. Both the statements are true. And इसी के through ये power struggles के बारे में भी बात करते हैं. So read a little bit more about this and also try to know the works that are written by Foucault. In the chronological order, learn them because वो already paper में आ चुका है. Who among the following has used the lines from Shakespearean play Othello to critique racism in one of his poems? Is it Edward Braithwaite? Is it Frantz Fanon, Derek Alcott Walcott, or is it Naomi Batyongo? Who among them used Shakespearean play Othello to critique racism in one of his poems? So the right answer is C, that is Derek Alcott Walcott, who has written this work called as Goats and Monkeys. इनका एक work है Goats and Monkeys, and it is a tribute to Shakespeare where he talks about the way in which racism is creating problem. He used the very important figure Othello as well as Desdemona. So what he is doing, वो Othello को किसके साथ compare करते हैं? Darkness के साथ compare करते हैं. While Desdemona को वो beauty के साथ, white के साथ compare करके he talks about the problems of racism. So dark ominous night, dark night के बारे में बात करते हुए he compares it to Othello. So this is a work by Derek Alcott Walcott, who has written this work and he is paying tribute to Shakespeare and using his play Othello. Let us go forward. So C becomes the right answer. These are some of the very important short stories. So short stories है ये आपकी. The Lion's Skin, The Man Who Liked Dickens, Rip Van Winkle, The Bride Comes to Yellow Sky. We have Washington Irving, W. Somerset Maugham, Stephen Crane, and Evelyn Waugh. Let us see the right answer. C is the right answer. A would be matched with 2. So Lion's Skin is a work by W. Somerset Maugham. The Man Who Liked Dickens is by Evelyn. Rip Van Winkle is a very important short story by Washington Irving. And D, The Bride Comes to Yellow Sky, is by Stephen Crane. So C becomes the right answer. Then who among the following coined the term the movement? The movement was basically एक ऐसा एक movement start होता है, not typically a movement to create an impact, but एक तरीके के writers थे जो उस टाइम पे लिख रहे थे. ये सारे यूके के राइटर्स थे और यूके के बाहर जो भी राइटर्स थे उनको इसमें इंक्लूड नहीं किया गया था. So it was the way in which they were writing. उस वे को लिखते लिखते इन लोगों ने अपने आप को एक तरीके से they compartmentalized themselves, they created a group amongst themselves and they called it as the movement. They were changing the ways in which they were writing. Not very radical writings were there. Who actually coined this term, the movement? Is it F.W. Bateson, F.R. Lewis, J.D. Scott, or I.A. Richards? In 1956, the coinage of the term was done, and it is J.D. Scott who coined it. So C becomes the right answer. Then it ought to be the first, it ought to be the first endeavor of a writer to distinguish nature from custom, or that which is established because it is right from that which is right only because it is established, that he may neither violate essential principles by a desire of novelty, nor debar himself from the attainment of beauties within his view by a needless fear of breaking rules which no literary dictator had authority to enact. These are the lines, and who basically said these lines? The above passage, considered to be the death knell of the neoclassical criticism, is attributed to. These lines are attributed to whom? Is it Dryden, Alexander Pope, Samuel Johnson, or Joseph Anderson? I'll give you time to read it and then we'll go forward. Read this once again. Who said these lines? Who said these lines? So these lines are attributed to Samuel Johnson, who is remembered for the 2-volume Dictionary of English Language as well. One of the most important writer. He has written in depth about Shakespeare also. He has also written the history of Rasselas, a very important text. You should know these lines, right? अगर अभी नहीं पता था तो write these things in your notes also. Rasselas इनका बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट वर्क है. कब आता है वो? 1759 का वर्क है Rasselas. एंड इनकी डिक्शनरी भी काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है. डिक्शनरी कब आती है? कैन यू टेल मी व्हेन द डिक्शनरी केम आउट? सो इन द कमेंट सेक्शन प्लीज टेल मी व्हेन द इंग्लिश डिक्शनरी that is written, the 2-volume English dictionary that is written by Samuel Johnson came out. Then we have list 1 and list 2. These are certain quotes that you have, and those are the texts, those are the plays by Shakespeare. There is no art to find mind's construction in the face. Time out of joint. The better part of valor is discretion. My kingdom for a horse. Hamlet, Richard III, Macbeth, and Twelfth Night. The right answer is B. A would be matched with 3, B with 1, C with 4, and D with 2. Let us see. So there is no art to find mind's construction in the face. These are the lines that you find in the work Macbeth. Then time out of joint is in Hamlet. The better part of valor is discretion, is a very important line that you see in Twelfth Night. And my kingdom for a horse is a line that you find in Richard III, right? So B becomes the right answer. If you weren't aware about it, you can also know these things right now and try to include them in your notes. Then inane gaudiness is a phrase that is used in connection with neoclassicism by. किसने ये word बोला है, किसने ये use किया है? Inane gaudiness. Another very important word that he said was the spots of time. Can you guess who basically is the person who is talking about inane gaudiness, spots of time? Was it William Wordsworth, S.T. Coleridge, Matthew Arnold, or T.S. Eliot? Right. So the right answer is William Wordsworth. He is associated with lyrical ballads as well. He said that it is important to write in such a way that the ordinary people understand the language. So he's saying that the spots of time, the beauty that you collect, the moment that you get in tranquility, you collect them and then you write those things. And those things should be written in a way that is nothing more than, say, it should not be very pompous, it should not be gaudy, and it should be very ordinary so that the ordinary common man can understand those things. So basically here, inane gaudiness, it's, by using these words, Wordsworth is saying that you can be creative, but anything that is excess is wrong. What is Wordsworth saying? He said that कुछ भी चीज अगर आप बहुत ज्यादा जैसे स्टिमुलीज यूज कर दोगे, बहुत ज्यादा पर्सोनिफिकेशन यूज करो, जैसे आप अगर बहुत ज्यादा एक्सेस में कोई चीज यूज हो जाती है तो वो गॉडी लगने लगती है एंड इट इज नो मोर क्रिएटिव. तो क्रिएटिव होना इज गुड बट एक्सेस ऑफ एवरीथिंग इज बैड. इट मेक्स एवरीथिंग वेरी करप्ट. So it is important to go and it is important to use common language and common words, right? He is not saying कि किस तरीके से आप बहुत अच्छे से लिख सकते हो या नहीं लिख सकते हो. He is just saying that use the spots of time that are common. Have some common theme so that everyone can relate with it and use the language that is not very literary, right? It should not be very literary. It should not be very difficult for the person to connect. So this inane gaudiness, these are the phrase. This is a phrase that was coined by William Wordsworth. Then, who first translated the Bhagavad Gita into English? Is it H.T. Colebrook, Alexander Duff, Charles Wilkins, or Sir William Jones? So I'm pretty sure you guys would eliminate A and B as it is, and दो में सब confuse हो जाएंगे. But please remember, it is C that is the right answer. Charles Wilkins ने सबसे पहले भगवद गीता इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेट की थी. Right? So right answer is C. Right? I hope you guys understood. ऐसे ही questions paper में आते हैं. These lines from the various plays of Shakespeare, they are important. Almost all the plays that are there are very, very important. Then what did we discuss here? The movement itself is very important, and the short stories. I've seen a lot of people not focusing on these works like pamphlets, short stories, travelogues, in सब पे आप focus नहीं करते हो. But if you focus on these things, then you will definitely score good because they are asking questions from magazines, short stories, pamphlets, travelogues से बहुत questions आते हैं. So try to know about the short stories also written by famous writers that are there. Okay. So with this, I'll wind up the video. I hope you understood. If you still have any doubt, you can ask me that in the comment section and I'll surely reply to you. Thank you and have a wonderful day.